Save some time to dream. Save some time for yourself. Don't let your time slip away or be stolen by somebody else. Save some time for those you love, for they remember what you gave. Save some time for the songs you sing and the music that you made. Could it be that this is all there is? Could it be there's nothing more at all? Save some time to dream, 'cause your dream might save us all. Save some time for sorrow, 'cause surely gonna come your way. Prepare yourself for failure, it'll give you strength someday. Try to keep your mind open and accept your mistakes. Save some time for living and always question your faith. Could it be that this is all there is? Could it be there's nothing more at all? Save some time to dream, 'cause your dream might save us all. Cast your eyes up to heaven. Well, now what does that mean to you? Try not to be too judgmental, so others will not judge you. Save some time to think, oh, before you speak your mind. Many will not understand, and to them you must be kind. Could it be that this is all there is? Could it be there's nothing more at all? So save some time to dream, 'cause your dream might save us all. Dream might save us all. Save some time to dream. Save some time for yourself.
I'm here with John Mellencamp, and it seems, John, like every artist who's been able to survive and thrive throughout the years have had and come across some type of challenge in their lives that they've overcome, sort of a crossroads. I wonder for you, when did you realize that you had the power to not only change the artificially imposed name of Cougar, but also to take control and take charge of your own career and your own success?
Well, I never really looked at it like that. I never, power is like a very dramatic word, I think.
Okay.
I just kind of chipped away at it, you know.
We call it chutzpah in my family.
Yes, I understand that word.
Yeah.
But that's a very foreign word for people from Indiana.
That's right.
So I think the word that we would use would be tenacity.
Tenacity, that's right.
Yeah. When did I find out I had the tenacity? Well, I always knew I had the tenacity, even as a young man. I was very cavalier, even as a teenager. So.
You didn't take no for an answer.
Well, I just didn't follow rules very well. I was a terrible student, and You know, so many people in this world give up too early.
Well, I wonder if that tenacity translates also into your, what I perceive, and I think many others perceive, is to be, I want to use the right word, fearlessness, if there's a word. About 7 years ago.
Silliness.
Fearlessness, silliness. But about 7 years ago, your song "To Washington" evoked a phone caller. I remember reading about this, who called a local radio station and said, "I don't know who I hate more, John Mellencamp or I think it was either Saddam Hussein or Osama bin Laden."
I don't remember either, but yeah.
Do you ever get nervous now about speaking about what you believe? I mean, when people react in such a negative way, and what allows you to continue to...
I'm sure that I could have been much more successful if I'd have kept my mouth shut and played the game. Mm-hmm. I'm absolutely positive of that. But I got some really good advice once from an old man named Pete Seeger. And Pete came up to me and one day and he said, "You know, John, if you want to make a difference, keep it small." I just wanted to say I've been thinking about you. It's not my nature to be nostalgic at all. I sat by the phone last night waiting for you to call. It's been decades since I spoke to you. I just wanted to say I've been thinking about you. Did you get my message? I left the other afternoon. A young girl's voice said, "I'll call you back real soon." I bet that's your daughter. She sounded like you used to. I just wanted to say I've been thinking about you. So long ago, those summer afternoons, I bet they tore that playground down where I first kissed you. Don't mean no trouble, don't wanna bother you none. Ain't looking for nothing, just wondering about your son. But if you ain't got time to return this call, I understand that you're busy and thanks for the memories when the world didn't seem so strong. I just wanted to say I've been thinking about you. Thinking about you. Thinking about you. Thinking about you.
So I found out that you were quoted as saying recently, here's another one of your quotes, but I don't think this is a hypocritical quote. Two of your biggest heroes were Bob Dylan and the Dalai Lama. And I also read a story that your wife, Elaine, recently, she's a member of the Mongolian Tibetan Cultural Center.
Yep.
Locally in
Bloomington,
in
Indiana.
Bloomington.
It's a funny story if you care to hear it.
I would love to.
So anyway, Elaine's been going around with the Dalai Lama for about a week. And of course, you know me, I'm too shallow for any of that. So finally at the last day, she says, you know, we're having this lunch and you've got to come and meet his, you know, His Holiness. And I said, okay, you know. And so I go there and I'm sitting next to the Dalai Lama. And I notice he keeps looking at me, but he doesn't say anything. And I started to get the feeling that he thinks he's looking at Satan or something. You know, because I tell Elaine, I said, you know, I don't think His Holiness is digging me very much, because he kind of looks at me and kind of looks away, and she says, oh, I don't, you know, she says, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, you know, with her, he's like, you know, always talking and, you know, very charming, and she's charming back. So anyway, he was getting ready to leave. The whole shebang was over. And I'm standing in the bowels of Assembly Hall, which is where he gave his last speech. And His Holiness comes up and he looks at me and he grabs a hold of my hand. Now, you're not supposed to touch him.
Right, right.
But now he's got a hold of my hand. And he starts dragging me around while he's meeting other people, holding my hand.
Is he saying anything to you at all at this point?
No, he's just he's just holding my hand. You know, like a man would hold a woman's hand or vice versa. And I'm kind of being chauffeured around with the Dalai Lama, and he's meeting other people holding my hand. And I look over to Elaine and she's going, and then I look over, I know a lot of monks, and they're all going.
They didn't even know.
No.
Uh-oh.
And then a friend of mine who runs, the Dalai Lama is one of the Dalai Lama's right-hand guys, this guy named Rinpoche. And Rinpoche said, John, His Holiness rebooted you. And I said, really? And he goes, yes, I think he thought you needed rebooted. I've never seen him do that before.
Wow.
And I have to tell you, so many good things came my way the next year.
Really?
I couldn't believe it. And I'm very lucky, you know. I mean, I'm very lucky.
Fortunate is what I like to say.
Yeah, very fortunate.
Lucky is different. You know, it's interesting that you said that about yourself, that you didn't consider yourself, like you thought he was looking at you as Satan when, you know, he's a spiritual man, but your music is very spiritual.
Well, I was surprised because they had a small luncheon for him. And Elaine said, John, you got to play today. Okay, so I played Save Some Time to Dream. And His Holiness was going to do a speech. And he just said, you know, changed his entire speech about that song.
Yeah.
And I was sitting behind him, and I can't hear anyone for being in a rock band all these years. I'm deafer than Job's turkey. And I don't even know what he's saying. And I look over at Elaine, and she's going, what? And he's just talking about the song that I just sang and how it really meant a lot to him, and that he learned from the song, and that it was a lot of the ancient teachings of Buddhism were inside that song. And when I wrote the song, I really liked the song, except I thought it was a little preachy. You know, you could be a little preachy as long as you don't get on a soapbox and start having a sermon.
For an exclusive look behind the scenes at John Mellencamp's visit to our studio, just check out our website.
Let's go smoke while we're talking.
All right, aetv.com/private sessions.